Alright guys, welcome back to Urge. Moving on to the second of 3 mythic monsters. Ooh. And this time we have Hythonia the Cruel. Your Theros version of Medusa, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
But we'll just jump straight into it. Try to keep it short, guys.
Yep. So, all of these have their own set of layer and regional effects, which are always very interesting and nice and thematic. So, we'll start off with the regional effects. I think those kind of happen further out. So,
yes, makes sense.
Start that way. So, a large population of snakes dwell in the region. Makes sense. Trees within 1 mile of the lair are petrified wood. Plants that stay within 500 feet of the lair for 1 day turn to stone. I guess if plants could move, they could get in and get out.
Like a weed sprouts up, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, somehow.
All right, cool. Small bodies of water within 1 mile of the lair become poisonous. The creature that drinks the water must succeed on a DC 19 Constitution saving throw or become poisoned for 8 hours. Can repeat the saving throw at the end of each hour. For her lair actions, which would occur on her every initiative count roll of 20 in the order. Can't take the same lair action 2 rounds in a row. She can briefly animate creatures that have been petrified by her gaze. Each statue attacks one creature within 5 feet with a plus 11 to hit, dealing 10d6 bludgeoning damage. Medium or smaller creature takes this damage and is also grappled. So interesting. Mm-hmm. And then her other option is she causes spectral snakes to erupt from a point she can see within 150 feet. Each creature within 20 feet of that point will make a DC Constitution saving throw or take 2d4 poison damage and become poisoned until the end of their next turn. While poisoned this way, the creature has disadvantage on intelligence checks and intelligence saving throws and behaves as if it is under the effects of the confusion spell.
Yikes.
Woof.
Definitely interesting. So, we have the stat block now. We have a large monstrosity, not huge actually, surprisingly.
Yep.
17 armor class, 199 hit points, 40-foot climbing, walking, and swimming speed.
Ooh.
Definitely interesting. A little bit of
amphibian-ness.
Yeah, all over the place on this one. Have your damage immunities, poison, condition immunities, charm, frightened, poisoned. Dark vision, 120 feet, best perception, 19. So pretty standard here. Hythonia is an innate spellcaster with Charisma Say as its stat, being DC 18. Can innately cast animate objects once per day, requiring no material components. Legendary resistances, 3 per day, as normal. Petrifying Gaze, when a creature that can see Hythonia's eyes starts its turn within 30 feet of her, can force the creature to make a DC 18 con save if she isn't incapacitated and can see the creature. If the saving throw fails by 5 or more, the creature is instantly petrified. Otherwise, a failed save of the creature begins to turn to stone and is restrained. So you're restrained and start to turn to stone.
Right.
The restrained creature must repeat the saving throw at the end of its next turn and becomes petrified if it fails a second time, ending the effect on a success. So you get a second chance if you don't massively fail it. Well, massively, 5's not really massive fail, but to break it. Petrification lasts until the creature is freed by the Greater Restoration spell or other magic.
Right.
I'm guessing that's DM discretion.
Right.
Unless surprised, the creature can avert its eyes to avoid saving throw at the start of its turn. If the creature does so, it can't see Hythonia until the start of its next turn, when it can avert its eyes again. If the creature looks at Hythonia in the meantime, it must immediately make the save. If Hythonia sees herself reflected on a polished surface within 30 feet of her and in an area of bright light, she is affected by her own gaze, so she'll have
you know where she's living, there ain't no bright light.
Right, it's going to be dark.
She's
not going to be fighting that kind of condition. That being said, she also has her Mythic trait, which is called Shed Skin, which is suiting for a snake-type creature.
Yes.
And when she's reduced to 0 hit points, she doesn't die or fall unconscious. Instead, she sheds her skin, regains 199 hit points, and moves up to her speed without provoking opportunity attacks. So, moving around the battlefield. Actions. She has multi-attack. Makes 3 attacks, 1 with her claws, 1 to constrict, and 1 with her snaky hair. Yes, snaky hair.
It's actually named snaky hair, folks.
Claw attack, plus 11 hit, reach of 5 feet, average of 9 damage, slashing, plus 4 poison damage average. Constrict, weapon attack, plus 11, reach 15 feet, so a little bit of reach here. 1 larger, smaller creature. It's 16 average bludgeoning damage. Target is grappled with an escape of 19. Until the grapple ends, the target is restrained and takes 15 average bludgeon damage at the start of each of its turns, and Hythonia can't constrict another target. And then Snaky Hair, the third and final part of the multi-attack, is also plus 11 hit, reach of 10 feet, 1 target, 32 average bludgeoning damage, and Hythonia can pull the target up to 5 feet closer to her if it is a larger or smaller creature. So we have a little bit of reach and range on her attacks here.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to help her get on the battlefield, especially with that climbing and swim speed.
Right. On to her legendary action. She can take 3 legendary actions per turn. She can only take 1 action at a time. Only at the end of another creature's turn, regains all legendary actions at the start of her turn, just with normal legendary actions. She can move, so she can move up to her speed without provoking opportunity attack. So if she feels like she's getting cornered in, she can just move 40 feet away from everybody and no opportunity attacks. She gets a free snaky hair attack, which is just fun to say. Or she can use 2 of her actions for Petrified Earth, causing stone spikes to erupt from the ground in a 30-foot radius centered on her. The area becomes difficult terrain until the start of her next turn. Any creature other than her takes 2d8 piercing damage for every 5 feet of movement on those spikes. So it kind of forces you to either stay in place where you're at or sacrifice a lot of damage, because she could pop this and then she could slither out of there with her other legendary action. Mm-hmm. And then if you've got a barbarian fighter rogue trying to get out of there, they have to either like waste their turn and try to fire a ranged weapon of sorts, or take the damage to try to get to her.
Yeah. The other thing to keep in mind too is you're not able to look at her, which means you're going to have disadvantage on your attacks.
Right.
As our party here figured out when I threw some Umbra Hulks at them. That was very frustrating.
The worst.
Averting gaze, man.
And then, of course, these are not just any old regular legendary monsters. These are mythic monsters. So once the shed skin trait kicks in, that's when the mythic actions are able to happen. So as long as her mythic trait is action, she can use the options below as legendary actions for 1 hour after using her shed skin ability. So she has numbing claws, where she can make 2 attacks with her claws. If both attacks hit the same creature, it takes an extra 2d6 poison damage. Target must succeed a DC 18 Constitution saving throw, become paralyzed to the start of your next turn. Get hold person as part of an attack.
Yikes! Yeah, that's a rough one.
Whew. It's a Constitution save, so it's not the worst save, but 18 is a challenging save, but not impossible, I would say. But still, it's fun.
It's definitely failable.
All right, and then, look at me. Can force a sided creature she has grappled to see her eyes and be affected by her gaze. So even if you chose to avert your gaze, she can just say, nah.
Yep.
Make you look at her anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So, again, if you watched the Arasta video first with the giant mythical spider, this one feels similar in the fact that not as much raw damage output you might see from other monsters of similar CR, but there are a lot more other junk to deal with. Instead, with Arasta, it's your movement speeds getting jacked with. Here at Hythonia, it is going to be being restrained. Again, your movement speed being jacked with, and the chance to be petrified.
Yes, yeah. If you're a person who can cast Greater Restoration against petrified, good luck.
Yeah.
You're probably going to die.
Yeah.
So, that's fun.
Yeah.
This is, to keep in mind, too, this is a CR 17 versus the other one was a 21.
Right.
So, yeah, this is a little bit on the easier side of things. But again, if you're using it as a mythic encounter, it is like fighting 2 CR 17 monsters in one combat.
You're having to kill one, then she resets herself health-wise.
So, definitely very interesting. I like this one a lot as a DM. Because this is like very strategic from a DM's perspective, right? Because you have some reach on your attacks. You're very slippery, hard to get to.
Yep.
And then you're trying to avert people looking at you, so you're basically giving disadvantage a lot of the time.
Right.
Or risking them being petrified, which is a very scary thing as
Sure.
a player to be like, should I look to not get disadvantage? Because they're trying to throw a spear, but you can't look at her. So good luck trying to hit her.
Yeah. As a mostly a player who has DM'd some, it would be interesting, but I really don't want to have to put up with it.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep it short here for you guys, so we'll wrap it up here. If you guys enjoyed the video, please remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications so all of our new videos are coming out. If you're planning on running this encounter or have run it, please let us know in the comments down below. We'd love to hear how that went. I'm
Absolutely.
Sure some great stories on that. But as always, guys, thanks for watching.